very, very disturbing. Yesterday was very traumatizing to me. Growing up without a father, being killed by the NYPD, beaten, strangled to death by 16 police officers, it brought back the memory of yesterday. On yesterday, I was in my church and we had service, regular service. When we had the service, two young ladies, now that we know, had set up a whole disturbance scene because they are following, and they were sent by some bloggers, some media bloggers that are trying to use what happened to me, the robbery, to get their following up and to get their content up. And when I was in church, I was preaching, and the 69th precinct, they have officers downstairs in front of my church to make sure that we don't get robbed anymore. The lady, I think her name now is Tasha, I don't know her last name, and another young lady came into my church, and one of my ministers told them that you cannot record. You can't record. And they began to make a scene. So I told them, let them record, let them record. They began recording, and she began to outburst and to cause a big disturbance in my church. So I said, come on over here, come on over here. Now on the side is where I have people line up for prayer. So she came up over here, not to the pulpit. Everybody keeps saying that I invite her in the pulpit. You have to be a minister to be in the pulpit in my church. So she came on the side and she began to yell at me. She began to cuss me out and say whatever she wanted to say. I let her say what she wanted to say, and I'm going to be posting more video because you guys didn't see the video inside of the church, so you'll be able to see everything. So she came over, she cussed me out, called me all type of names. I said, all right, me and my church started to pray. And I said, now you have to go. You have to get out. You have to go. What you guys don't see on camera is that she started to walk back to leave, and then she spit back around. And she came back after my wife and my daughter. So I have my wife and my daughter, who's 10 months old, sitting there, and she came and said, and now you're a liar, going towards my wife. And that's when you seen her walk in front of me, going at my wife and my daughter, and I grabbed her. Everybody's saying that I choked her. How can you choke somebody from behind? I don't understand it. I never wrapped my arms around her neck. I have no fingernails, so they say that I scratched her. I don't have any fingernails. I never have fingernails. You can see I don't have fingernails. So I grabbed her from behind, by her shirt, from behind, and by her shoulder. And I escorted her out. And I'm going to be posting this video. I'm going to post a video. And actually, if you look on the blogger, there are two bloggers, Larry Reed and King Jive. All right, these two bloggers, they're nobody, but they're trying to get publicity off of me. They were the ones that sent these people here. So once again, Bishop Whitehead was set up. We are coming off of the eve of me being robbed by 3 gunmen. By 3 gunmen, okay? That's the eve that we're coming off of. 3 gunmen came and robbed myself, my wife, and my church. And the gunmen put a gun in my 8-month-old baby's face, okay? And that's the only thing that I can remember. This lady had a bag under her arm, and she was going after my wife, and I grabbed her, and I took her out. I pushed her out, and I have the video, and the police officers saw the video. All the police officers saw the video that was there. I spoke to Chief Badry. I spoke to Inspector Stevenson. I spoke to the captain, which is the inspector of this church, Amadullah. I spoke to him. He was at a wedding. I went through all of the chain of command to make sure that this lady was arrested. I went through all of the chain of command to make sure that they had the proper information to arrest this young lady, both of them. Nobody arrested them. They told me that the detectives was coming, okay? The detective came. Her name was Francois, Detective Francois, and I'm filing a complaint against her. I'm filing a complaint against her because she was the one that gave the order to illegally arrest me. She She didn't ask me no questions. She didn't ask the victim. She didn't ask my church no questions. She came on the scene. She had a conversation with the police officers, and she turned around and said, "Arrest her." Now, let's go back. Let's go back. My minister, once these ladies started to disturb my church, my ministers went downstairs to the offices, and they were sleeping. Okay, they were sleeping. She went downstairs. They were sleeping. And she said, come upstairs, there's a problem. Okay? And the problem was going on. And when I pushed the lady outside of the door, the officers was coming upstairs and they went right in their hand. However, if they wasn't sleeping, then they would have been able to understand what's going on. I just also posted on my page the women that created this disturbance to show the world that this was all premeditated. It was all premeditated. And what they say was, they spoke to the NYPD and they asked them, are you protecting Bishop Whitehead? And they laughed and said no. They said no. But if you're the NYPD and they're asking you questions about me and I was just robbed, wouldn't you do some investigation on it? And I specifically spoke to the police officers before I went upstairs and told them, okay, you guys, make sure you come up and do your rounds. They never did a round. They never did anything. The same police that was there to protect me was the ones that arrested me. I have knots on my arms because of the handcuffs, and I felt like my father. I felt they was taking my rights away, and to be honest with you, I really didn't care about anything at this point, because like I told the police officer, I said, I advocate for you guys. I advocate for you guys. I bring the community together with you guys, and I say, let's trust the NYPD. But now how can I say, let me trust you, let the community trust you if I don't trust you? So they arrested me for nothing. For nothing. I didn't hit nobody, which I could have to defend my family. You charged at my wife and my 10-month-old baby. And how am I arrested? So Miss Francois, Detective Francois, came on the scene and ordered my arrest without having no conversation with me or anything. And I was detained, and I was put right here in the the 69th precinct, where I was thrown in a cage with another felon. Okay, so I was treated like a criminal. So I went from the pulpit to the cell for no reason. The New York Police Department failed me and failed my church. They failed me and failed my church. They were supposed to protect me, and they arrested me. If I was a priest, if I was a Caucasian priest, it would have never happened. If I was a rabbi, it would have never happened. And that's why I came with my baseball hat on and my Philly sweater. So therefore, I am, and I understand I don't look like a bishop, and I understand I don't look like a pastor, but I am. I don't look like a doctor, but I have my doctor. 2 doctors. So at the end of the day, why do I have to change my style in order to get respect? I believe, and I'm going to do another live later on, I believe that the NYPD do not believe that I was robbed. I believe that they feel that I set this whole robbery up. And I've heard this from the NYPD, and I'm not going to say any names. What's going around in the NYPD is Bishop Whitehead set this robbery up. They staged it. So now, why would they respect me in my church if they feel that I'm a criminal? I'm a black man, so automatically I'm a criminal, right? So going through the NYPD, and it's verified, they believe that I set it up. So until they see, I guess, these criminals that when they get caught and they see that they're arrested and I have nothing to do with it and I'm a victim, then I want my apology. Because the NYPD, the media have set up, a platform to believe that I'm not a victim, I'm a villain, because I'm African American. I want to have a conversation with the commissioner. I'm not talking to nobody else. I want to have a conversation with the commissioner, and everybody knows that Mayor Adams is my mentor. Y'all done scared him away. I haven't spoken to him. The media scared him away. I haven't spoken to him at all. The governor, I haven't spoken to her. Nobody has called me. But I guarantee you, if I was a rabbi, I guarantee you if I was a priest, and I guarantee you if there was some gang violence, that's when they called me. That's when they all called me. That's when all of the politicians called me. Hey, Bishop Whitehead, I know you have relationships with the street. How can you help us? So everybody want to use me and abuse me, but yet I go from the pulpit to the prison cell because I had to protect my family. And then they come and say, Bishop, we're sorry. All the charges are void, and we're letting you out. After my shoestrings are out, after my belt is out, after the process of me being hooked has already been done, you're gonna say I'm sorry? What was the reason for arresting me? You were supposed to protect me. So the reason why I'm having this press conference is for my family, for my friends, and for the world to understand that the NYPD has made a grave mistake. And they're going to respect Bishop Lamor Whitehead. I don't care if they don't like me. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But you're going to have to respect me. And there was untold amount of community affairs officers who I respect. Called me and asked me and apologized on the behalf of the NYPD because they know my work. They know what I do. And I want my name to be known in a great way, not a criminal way. And I want the media to stop criminalizing, right? You guys put what you want to put in the media. You say that I was convicted of identity theft. True. Scheme to defraud. True, all of that. Well, let's talk about how Suffolk County, the one that convicted me, the DA, Spoda, had to resign because he was under federal indictment. Why? Because he was manipulating paperwork and manipulating witnesses. And my search warrant and my case were all manipulated. And we're going through the process with that. Why don't we give that story? Why don't we give that story? Why don't we give the story, Bishop, let's see this paperwork that you have. So I can show you the search warrant that don't even have a judge name. It just has a stamp of the judge name that they used to execute. Let's talk about how they went all the way to Jersey, put stuff from my house in a garbage bag, put it in their truck illegally, and brought it back and tried me on it because I'm a black man. But all the media wants to talk about is both of them on? Nah. Let me see that. These people right here are important to me. That's why I'm doing this. Here you go. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about things that they did to me to get me in prison. All they want to talk about is my felony. But how did I get that felony? How did I get it? So I want a public apology from the NYPD. I'm calling on Mayor Adams and I'm calling on the governor of the state of New York to have a meeting with them. I want to meet with the powers that be. Don't ask me to do anything community until y'all meet with me. And I'm going to keep pushing this because y'all illegally detained me because I'm a black man. That's the only reason why they did it. That's the only reason why they did it. There's no other reason why they did it. I did nothing wrong. How do I call the police and the police that I call arrest me? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, they brought back memories of how they killed my father, and to see my babies, to see the church, my church babies, look and cry because they was arresting their pastor for nothing. They can't get those memories out of their head no more. So what is the NYPD going to do now? What is the NYPD going to do now? Everybody want to come and try to put lawsuits on the bishop because of my name right now. Frivolous lawsuit. The media talks about how I stole something from a parishioner. She was never a parishioner and I didn't steal anything. That's why the case, the first part of it was dismissed. And if y'all do your research, you'll see that my attorney has already filed the entire thing to be dismissed. So that's the legal piece to that. But the media perpetrates me as a villain. I took from an old lady. I did this. I did that. Those are all lies. And I want the world to understand who Bishop Whitehead is. I'm a young black man that first loved the Lord.
Amen.
And I love my community. And if you ask all of these young men, if you ask all these young men, what have I done? You can go throughout Brooklyn, throughout New York City, talk to the community affairs, ask them what I do. I just gave away $25,000 in back to school and cookies. I shut the whole store down. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, I give away thousands of either toys or turkeys. I don't get no money from nobody. But yet they tell me I'm robbing the church. No, I'm in real estate. I have my doctorate in real estate. I can't do real estate. You talk about my Fendi. I can't wear Fendi. I can't wear Louis Vuitton. Why? Why can't I? So now I'm everyone's arch nemesis because of the picture that you guys portray. So I wanted to just have this press conference to expose injustice. And when I tell you I really supported the NYPD, like I speak to them so much and we talk and we plan things because I feel that I have to do that because there's some really good people in NYPD, right? Very good people. I have a lot of friends with NYPD. But I feel that I had to do it because of what NYPD did to my father, right? So I wanted to bridge the gap because I'm supposed to be angry. Y'all took my father away from me. Y'all killed him for a ticket that wasn't even his. It was my uncle's ticket. And he came up and they said the nigga got a gun. It was a licensed gun in his holster and y'all choked him to death. So I felt it was my duty to make amends with the NYPD and work with them. We won with them until today, until yesterday, where they turned their back on me, where they treated me like a criminal. If I did something wrong, then I gotta face the consequences. But I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, and y'all threw me in the police car against my will and injustice. So I know you have questions. I know you guys have questions.
I'm just wondering, do you know those women that came in at all? Have you seen them before?
I've never seen them before in my life. As one of the actual young lady that was arrested, I give free real estate classes to the community. Classes that will cost $5,000. I give it for free. So I set up a Zoom and I teach it. I've been teaching it for the last 3 years. And she claims that she was on a real estate class. So I actually helped her. I don't know her. But I do know that she was saying that her mentor is Larry Reed. And they're connected with this guy Jive. And I hate saying their name because they're so low people that nobody really care about, but that's what they're doing. They need this publicity. But at the end of the day, I have to say their name because these are the ones that's trying to set me up. Larry Reed and another guy by the name of King Jive, J-I-V-E. And if y'all look on their pages, you're going to see them interviewing these girls prior to this, right? And if you look on my Instagram page and my Facebook page, you're going to be able to see that the whole thing was set up. So I don't know them. I've never seen, outside of what she's saying that she was on my real estate class, I don't remember her. But I don't know them.
It's really hard to put in the video. What were they saying? As they came to the church, what were they doing?
Oh yeah, she was cussing me out. Liar, you this, you that. She was calling me she called me every name in the book. And I allowed her to. And that's why you see me here watching and letting her talk. And letting her talk. And everybody's saying that everybody's saying that I invited her up to the pulpit. I did not. I told her, come on over here. That's where my prayer is. In that aisle. I said, come on up here. She stopped right there and I said, okay, no, go ahead. And she yelled and screamed and disrespected me. I said, okay, all right, okay, you finished? And then my church, I said, let's start praying against this demon. Okay, let's start praying. And that's when you in my church start clapping and praying. And then she turned around. I'm going to post a video. You're going to see her turn around and walk back and then beeline and come back and start going at my wife. And that's when I grabbed her. But now all of the women are saying that I abused a woman. My grandmother, who's 107, is my best friend. She raised me with my mom, single parent, my older sister. I don't abuse women. You know, so everybody's looking at me as an abuse. I don't abuse. Then she has a scratch on her. She did that on her own. I grabbed her shoulder and the back of her shirt. That was it. I didn't grab no flesh. And I pushed her out. And I have the video. And actually, if you go on the Larry Reed page, he posted it. That's why they have so many videos that nobody else had. Because it was a setup. It was a setup. And we need to be able to do something about these clout chasers, the ones that target men like myself, influencers like myself. How do they keep coming to church? This is the church. If you don't like me, cuss me out outside. The robbers came in my church. Everybody feel that they can come into church. So now the NYPD has to now do something about this because I don't want no copycat crimes. All right? And if everybody's hearing that the police locked me up and I wasn't in the wrong, then anybody can come into my church and curse me out and say what they want to say. So the NYPD has to clean this up. The commissioner, I'm calling on the commissioner, let's have a meeting. If you don't want to have a meeting, no problem. No problem. Okay? But I'm calling on the commissioner to have a meeting with me. I'm calling on the mayor to have a meeting with me. Ain't no friends attached. It's the bishop. I don't care about no friends. It's the bishop. I need to talk to you as the bishop. And I need the governor to talk. Because when it's time for voting, guess what? Mr. Whitehead, can you endorse me? Oh, I get that all the time with all of the politicians. Right? What's your question?
No.
Any other questions before I go? Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Yes, I'm going to post another video on my Facebook and my Instagram where you guys can see the entire shebang.
And just to be straight, if you're wearing any pink dress, there's robbers in
Yes. You good? You know how you wear me out sometimes. Yeah, you wear me out. That's what they want. They want recognition. Yeah, that's it. They want recognition. That's why they do this for. Recognition. All right, we good? Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you so much. All right. Yep. And King Jai. Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you so much. Yep. Mm-hmm. Those are the two. If you look, he has a YouTube too. And if you look on it, you'll see the same women that came into my church on his page. Setup. That's all it is. Yep. You'll be able to see all this. See, they have all of this. Nobody have all this footage. How all of them said they have this footage. It was a whole setup. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. All right, so Instagram, Facebook. Thank you guys. I'm gonna turn them around. Just turn them around so they can see. I can't see nothing. Thank you. Yeah. Instagram, thank you guys for coming on. I just wanted to clear the record, y'all. I'm here in front of the 69th precinct, and just to clear some things up and let everybody know where we stand. Each and every one of you. Hold on one second. Instagram. Yeah, God bless each and every one of you. I'll be on TMZ at 2 p.m. I don't know if they're doing it live, but I believe that they're doing it live. And I'm going to go on a lot of other We ain't worried about nothing. 10 toes down, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love you guys. Y'all stay focused and stay firm.